Good morning, everyone. It's iCurly K here, and it's time to get into the free trade idea for today. Today is November 6th, it's Thursday, and let's get right into it. So, as you can see on my screen, I do have CAT. I'm looking at this for a potential continuation to the upside. On the 2 day chart, we do have this bullish two down hammer candle. And so I'm looking at this thing for the possibility of the upside. But of course, the strat teaches us to be prepared in either direction. So without further ado, let's go ahead and chart it out. So this is going to be our call entry off of the 2 day time frame. And let's just figure out our magnitude. So let's see here. And it appears as if we closed at 569.15. Let's see. All right, so I'm looking at 587.14 to the upside. And that is going to be our ATR target. So let's go ahead and label that. So I'm utilizing a daily ATR target just for a day trade, but I also want to see if I decided to swing it into next week, what that would actually look like. So let's see here. All right. So about 590.45 for the 2 day. So if I opted for next week's expiration, I wouldn't exceed 590. All right, and now since the strat tells us to be prepared in either direction, let's go ahead and get the downside. 4 hour gives us an earlier entry than the day, so we'll opt for that. So our put entry on the 4 hour, and then let's get our magnitude down should we decide to push to the downside. So 551.17. And that is it. All right, so perfect. Let's talk about what our strike prices should be. So, if we decided to opt for a day trade utilizing November 7th expiration, because we would obviously have to opt for tomorrow's expiration, I would say anything in the money do not exceed 585. But if you were to opt for next week's expiration or at least 2 weeks out, I would say anything in the money, but do not exceed 590 to the upside. Now, to the downside, I would say anything in the money, but do not go any lower than 555 to the downside. So, again, if you're opting for this week's expiration date, anything in the money, do not exceed 585. If you're opting for next week's or 2 weeks out in the money, do not exceed 590. That is if we decide to push to the upside. Now, to the downside, do not go any lower than 555. So you can opt for anything in the money, but do not go any lower than 555. Obviously, market structure is going to be key. So if you don't have an understanding of what market structure is, I do have a video on my page that talks about how to view market structure, because once these levels break, it is going to be important to know whether or not we have market structure if we decide to push to the upside, market structure for the upside, or if we decide to push to the downside, you're going to have to wait for market structure to present itself to the downside, or at least strength and momentum. All right, everyone. So this is your free trade idea for the day. I hope that I see you in baggage claim. If you like these videos, please like, comment, subscribe, share them with a friend or family member. Have an amazing day.